In this, our third week, studying different areas of film style, we are taking a look at film editing, or how the individual shots that we have been taking a look at in connection to mise-en-scène and cinematography are edited together and connected with one another to form a movie. Along with cinematography, it is with editing that cinema really expresses itself artistically. It is in the ways in which individual shots are connected to one another or edited to one another, and it is the way in which groups of shots are edited to one another that a great deal of the artistic and aesthetic expression or value of cinema can be found. It really is even more than that. It is in film editing that we are able to have a sense of time or a sense of space at all in a film that we are watching, in a narrative fiction film with all of the many little individual pieces of film, some of which are just a few seconds long, others which are longer. An overall sense of time and the sense of how time passes within the fictional world of a film is due to editing, and the way in which spatial areas or different kinds of spaces are represented in a film is also due largely to the use of editing in the movie. We've studied the different types of shots that exist in terms of subject camera distance, close-ups, medium shots, long shots, and the other gradations that exist along that spectrum of subject camera distance. What editing does, one of the things that editing does, is that it constructs the film from a variety of these different types of shots. As you probably are aware or realize, film, any individual film, has got in it lots of different close-ups as well as lots of different medium shots and long shots. And it is in the practice of film editing that all of these different types of shots in terms of subject camera distance are put together and construct the film as a whole. Usually there are particular patterns in which groups of shots are connected to one another, and we can refer to these as editing patterns. So there's particular ways in which the different types of shots, close-ups and medium shots and long shots, are edited together in a particular fashion to create narrative in a film, to create time and space in a movie. There's one overall principle that labels the most common way in which shots are edited together in movies, in the American Hollywood cinema as well as most other types of cinema around the world, and that label is continuity editing. Continuity editing, or sometimes referred to as the continuity system, and also sometimes as continuity style. It is the goal of continuity editing to construct a continuous sense of time and space. And the continuity editing system, the different things that go into that system, which is what we're looking at this week, and what I'll be talking about in the remainder of this lecture, is the way in which time and space is made to seem like it is continuous to us as we watch it as viewers of a movie. Every time that there is an edit of any kind from one shot to another shot, there is either a continuation of time and space or a disruption of time and space in connection to or in reference to the shot that came before. So every time that one shot transitions to another shot through either a cut or a dissolve or a fade out or any of the other sorts of editing transitions, the second shot is either taking place at the same time and in the same space as the first shot, or it is taking place at a different time and in a different space than the first shot. So there's a great deal of possibilities as far as how much time passes between one shot and another, how much space is traversed between one shot and another. Literally, millennia of time could pass between one edit and another, and millions of miles as well if you're talking about, say, a science fiction film, where from one cut in one shot to a cut in another shot uh, could be across the galaxy. And so each editing transition of any kind in film represents either a continuation of time and space or a disruption of time and space. So continuity editing consists of a variety of different editing practices or techniques that can manipulate that sense of continuation or disruption, whatever the purposes of the filmmakers are. Continuity editing techniques can maintain a sense of continuity or continuousness in the time and space, or it can purposely disrupt that time and space. One of the principles that is at the center of the continuity editing system is what is called the 180-degree system. This is a way in which filmmakers have organized shots that are edited together so that to us as viewers, the screen direction and the spatial relationships between elements, especially between characters, is kept clear. This is a graphic that is somewhat similar to the one that is in your Sickoff text, in that it has the axis of action. In the diagram in your text, it is horizontal. Here, the axis of action is portrayed vertically or represented vertically. And the area in a 180-degree range or half circle of range, on one side of that axis of action is the area where a filmmaker can place his or her camera to maintain continuity, to maintain screen direction, and keep the spatial relationships clear between two figures on screen, whether they're in the same shot as it shows in these examples here, or whether whether the two characters are in separate shots, as is usually the case in a shot reverse shot sequence. And it is with the shot reverse shot sequence that the 180-degree system finds its most common use. This is a key editing pattern. The shot reverse shot pattern is a key editing pattern in continuity editing in general, utilizing the 180-degree system. We'll learn a little bit more about that in the film clips for this week, and you read about it in Sickoff as well. But basically, shot reverse shot is used during conversations between characters. Every time that we have a conversation, not every time, but most of the time, when we have a conversation between two characters in a film, we're going to have a shot reverse shot sequence, which alternates close-ups or medium close-ups of the two characters that are part of this conversation. And so this is one of the main ways in which the 180-degree system is used, and one of the main ways in which continuity editing is utilized in most films. Another set of techniques that is related to continuity editing, or is part of continuity editing, are different types of editing matches. There are three different types of editing matches that Sickoff talks about: matching on action, eyeline matching, and graphic matching. Now, each of these types of editing matches is designed to sort of smooth over the potential disruptions that can occur when there's an edit between one shot and another shot. Matching on action does that by having an action that a character is engaging in that starts in one shot and then finishes in the second shot after there's been a cut from the first shot to the second shot. Eyeline matching is something where a character is looking at something that is off screen. Could be a person that is also looking back at them. It could be a person who they are looking at who is not looking at them, or it could be an object, any of which is going to be off screen. So you see a character looking in a particular direction off screen, and then there's a cut to another shot which shows what that character is looking at. And usually, if not always, the position of the object that they're looking at in the second shot corresponds to the direction that the eye line of the character is looking in from the first shot. And so that helps to sort of smooth over or make less visible the fact that there was an edit at that particular point. And the third type of editing match is the graphic match. The graphic match is a type of editing match in which a graphic element of each of the two shots is matched with one another. Could be a color, it could be a particular shape, it could be a particular line or vector, and between the two shots it is matched usually by placing it in the same part of the frame and having either a cut or a dissolve that places whatever the graphic element is in about the same part of the frame so that those match graphically and make it a little less disruptive or a little less visible that there was some sort of a cut or some sort of an editing transition that had taken place. So these principles, or these ideas, the 180-degree system, the shot reverse shot editing pattern, and these three different types of editing matches are at the center of and form the core of continuity editing as a system of editing that attempts to make time and space continuous from one shot to another as groups of shots are edited together in a movie.